Hello, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. Now, I know that a lot of people like to use my YouTube VODs as, like, kind of educational material sometimes. Like, my YouTube VODs get comments a lot after the fact. Like, people that watch it, they want to, like, have a more in-depth look at the Thorns playstyle and stuff. So, for the start of this live stream, I'm going to be hopefully using this live stream VOD as, like, an anchor for, like, I guess the intro to my league start. Now, tomorrow, I will be releasing a full video that's going to have a more in-depth walkthrough of this guide with, like, more stuff than what I'm about to talk about, but I figured some people would want to have, like, a more live conversation about the Mobalytics guide, and that way I could answer questions in chat and stuff. Hey, what's up? Jindy, how you doing, man? Yeah, so, dude, I am unbelievably hyped. I can't believe, like, it's crazy. Friday is going to take so long. Hey, Pinhack, how you doing, man? Found your videos yesterday. Nice to be here. Hey, man, appreciate you stopping by. I am very excited for Thorns. I am insanely hyped for this league start. Go ahead and ask, Royal. The guide is not finished. It is completely unfinished. Like, I did as much guesswork as I can. There's a bunch of blanks, and ignore the passive tree completely. Like, I didn't put any effort into the passive tree, because the passive tree is getting reworked Friday. Until we have the passive tree, like, I can't... There's only so much guesswork I can do in the guide, but sure, yeah, ask all the questions you want, Royal. But yes, a lot of it is unfinished, so... Why do you rush Vengeance over Lay Siege? You mean Thorns Leech? Thorns Leech is overpowered. It's like if you're going Thorns at level 16, you want this ASAP. Hey, Zax Tech, thanks for the tier 1 sub, bro. I appreciate you, man. I'm glad you're here, man. Yeah, I was going to stream this morning, but then we were supposed to have someone come over and install a light fixture, but then they didn't end up coming. So that threw that off. And then I had a meeting with Miso and Dead Rabbit earlier today. We're actually going to do a mini podcast episode tomorrow for those that want to hang out and come watch us chat. Lay Siege is the block stuff, right? Like, there's no reason to rush this. How much block are we going to have in the early game? Like, block got nerfed. Like, there's no reason to rush Lay Siege. And throughout Act 1, I'm not even leveling with a shield. Like, we'd be rushing it for no reason. Like, for Act 1, our league start, we're using a two-hander. More than likely. We're going to have a shield in the offhand, probably, for shield charge spam. It depends on how good shield charge Stomping Ground is, but, I don't know, like, I don't see the value. Like, there's no reason to rush Lay Siege. We're gonna have such a low block chance, it's gonna be like, let's just say we happen to have a shield with 20% block chance. 20% of, like, 8 damage is, like, nothing, right? Like, I mean, maybe I'm, like, underestimating Lay Siege, but I don't see the point in rushing it early. If you were going to do, like, a 1 through 16 route, you would probably just, like, go through here and do, like, melee skill stuffs. Hey, NG, thanks for the tier 1 sub, bro. But I'm not sure. I mean, it depends on how much block we have early on, I guess. Lay Siege, yes, it could potentially be fine, but I just assume they nerfed the value of block on shields, so I just assume early game we're not gonna have enough block. If shields early game have like 20+% block chance base, then maybe it could work. But no, I put literally like I spent like 5 hours on this, like, polishing this today, and I spent like 20 seconds on the passive tree, because like, I just threw shit down because, yeah, none of the passive tree matters. Thank you for the sub, guys. Sorry, let me answer your guys' questions. Right, yeah, it's just the nerf. Like, what you're saying makes sense, and, like, yeah, it just depends. But there's just that, there's just the nerf. I'm not sure. I'm just, yeah. I don't know how good Shield Charge Stomping Ground's gonna be. I'm hoping it's really good early game, and that we can just level mainly Shield Charge. But that's why I have, like, Rolling Slam and Bone Shatter and stuff here. Is this build good? I mean, that's, depends on what you define as good. It can clear almost everything in the game. Wind Dancer, what Ascendancy would you recommend? Titan. Maybe Witch Hunter. Or Gemling. Gemling would be good too. Okay, I'm sorry I don't know how to say your name, but hi back at you. Hi, is your Arctic Armor build still live in 0.3? So, like, the Arctic Armor build was very memey. Not memey in a sense. Meme's the wrong word. The Arctic Armor build is like, yeah, it's kind of memey. I don't know. Like, it's not a good build. It's a fun-looking build, but it's not good. So, like, it was barely alive in the last patch, Edgar's. Is it still alive in this patch? Probably more alive with all of the changes, the cast-on stuff, but... Hey, Wife Aggro, thanks for the Twitch Prime, bro. Early leveling, what skill gems do we use? So yeah, I'm about to just dive into that. We're going to go through the Mobalytics walkthrough. Tomorrow, I'm going to have an entire video that goes more in-depth into this. Right now, I just want to, like, talk about the Mobalytics with you guys, so it's not going to be, like, totally formal and stuff. I'll post the Mobalytics in chat for you guys, and the updated one. Why even apologizing to Darth at the end of your videos? It's a weird meme. It's a stupid fucking meme that I've just continued doing for so long for some reason. So Jetch specifically is like one of the worst fights for Thorns. Like, his attack pattern is really rough. He does chaos damage, which chaos is like the worst for warriors. Yeah, so like Jetch, of all of the endgame boss fights, he is by far the most annoying to deal with. Jetch was like always a pain in the ass for tier 4. For me, like, so yes, Jetch, just like, I'm gonna go over it in the video tomorrow, but like, yes, there's just some fights where their attack patterns, it just screws over Thorns, but hopefully with mana stacking Thorns, it helps a lot. I really think mana stacking Thorns has changed, like, I should maybe, like, my brain tells me I should re-roll to mana stacking Thorns and do a Chronomancer. But I know a lot of people are going to struggle with that league start. Like, the mana stacking Thorns changes are actually fucking insane. It can still work with Warbringer. There's a chance I do a late game pivot to Ice Tomb in the late game. But mana stacking Thorns got a big level up. Agreed, Jindy. Agreed. Yeah, exactly. Shield Charge Disengage is one of the better leveling styles. I have Disengage on my... I need to put Disengage on this setup. I have it on the other ones. I don't know why I forgot to add it to this base one. I'm glad you typed that. Yes, Disengage. It just depends on how many support gems we're getting early on. That's my biggest question mark. But yes, Disengage and Shield Charge Stomping Ground spam, it seems like it's going to be great for clear. But yeah, this is like this is areas bloated. I just don't know how exactly we're leveling at the start. You're thinking of league starting the Wind Dancer's Titan. So the Wind Dancer builds, it could be nerfed. Someone commented that there was a very specific wording on gems that might have been targeting one of the Wind Dancer interactions. It's vague, so we don't know. But Titan's a great league start for Wind Dancer. I would not mind league starting Monk for Thorns as well, though. Hollow Palm looks so much fun. Can anything be done with the Witch Hunter and Weapon Master node? Yes. You just need, like, the player base isn't good enough for Witch Hunter yet. We just need, like, people who can, like, we're not there yet for the game, like, from the player base perspective. Thoughts on going Bone Storm Deadeye? Interesting. I love Bone Storm. I don't know if I would do it on a Deadeye. It could be okay, but I'm not a big... I don't look into Deadeye much. I don't know how that would work. Yeah, the multiple hands, those, yeah, so that was one of the, that's also one of the biggest problem with Thorns, hey bartender, is like when you get to endgame, like the game is not designed for you to take damage, right? The game is designed for you to avoid those hard-hitting hits. So at some point, like, the game isn't designed for Thorns, so you just, like, certain things just kill you, and yeah, those hands, they hurt. Oh. That's a good point. Yeah, you would just, like, you would get free power charge farming, huh? For the, yeah, wow. Yeah, that's cool. I did Bone Storm in 0-1 and 0-2. It's a lot of fun. It's one of my favorite spell skills. I've always done it on a Blood Mage and a Pathfinder, though. That actually sounds pretty cool, Dr. Ack. Does Thorns damage also count as part of the hit damage of the supported skill? I actually don't know that, Venos. There's, like, a lot of weird interactions with Thorns. I'm not the math guy that figures that stuff out. I just do the silly part of it. But I don't know. You're just here for the music? I love this song. It's like a lo-fi track of the PoE soundtrack or something that got released by GG a while ago. Hey Blaze, how you doing, bro? Let me give a shout out to Blaze. Oh, almost did it right. Yeah, totems are great for leveling, yeah. You can level really any way you want to. You know, you just transition to Thorns whenever you have the Thorns gear. So, like, if you want to level as ED Con, you can level as ED Con. So, let me walk through the Mobalytics real quick. I've been talking for a while now. We got enough people in here. So, for the people who are watching the VOD, they can get an idea of it. So, keep in mind, the Mobalytics is unfinished. There's just a lot of guesswork here. I mainly put in what I know is going to be helpful for you guys, and then until we get the passive tree and actually see how the skills and stuff interact launch day, like, this is going to be changing a lot, but this is at least going to get you guys the league start as smooth as you possibly can. So, yeah, we're going Warbringer. I know the poll was Witch Hunter versus Warbringer, and after 1,100 votes, it ended up 50-50. Like, are you freaking kidding me? So I ended up deciding Warbringer, though. There is a lot of new Thorns players here, and they all... a lot of them are just going to be following along with whatever I do, no matter what I say. If I tell them to go play Warbringer, they're going to see me doing Witch Hunter, and they're going to follow me. And there's just a lot of friction with the playstyle that doesn't get solved. Like, I'm releasing a video tomorrow that deep dives into Thorns, and one of the things I hammer home is there is a lot of problems with this playstyle. It's very much an early access. There are certain bosses and mob types that just don't interact well with Thorns. There's just a lot of, like, it's not, the game's not designed for Thorns. So there are just periods of time, very brief ones, but like maybe like 2% of the game, maybe even less than that, 1% of the game where it's just like, oh, this sucks, but the rest of it is so much damn fun. But that 1% of it can ruin the experience for you. So I just be mindful that, A, this is a build where you have to take damage to deal damage. And this is a game where it's trying to kill you with one-shots often. So if you're struggling to get the currency to upgrade your gear, if you're not min-maxing your defenses well enough, like, it's a build where you have to take damage. So just be mindful that there's a lot of friction here. You will die a lot. There's no way you can not die with Thorns. I die so much, even with the old Warbringer with 84% block chance with Turtle Charm. I died so much. You're just going to die, and especially when you're new, you're going to be fighting bosses for the first time, and you have to learn their attack patterns, and you have to specifically You have to specifically learn which attacks you can tank and you can't. There are just some fights that you're gonna like have to learn the one-shots. Now, at some point, I hope to get a guide out for every boss fight for the things you can and can't tank, but as of right now, don't have the prep time for that. But yes, there's a lot of friction with it. It's very gear dependent, and in Uber Endgame, some of the tier 4 content, the ultra uber content, it may be out of reach of us. In 0.2, I struggled to clear some of the tier 4 content with really good currency. Now, I would never say I'd spent more than 100 divine, but you know, on a budget of 10 to 20 divine, I struggled to clear some tier 4 content. I got tier 4 Arbiter, I got tier 4 King of the Mist, but I never got tier 4 Simulacrum, and I never got tier 4 Breach with Thorns, or Zetch with Thorns specifically. Because Simulacrum, you just took too much elemental damage, you were getting one-shot. One-shots are a big problem with Thorns, and with Zetch, his attack pattern is very brutal for Thorns, and he does a lot of chaos damage. Chaos damage is a big weakness for the warrior archetype right now, so it's just... I know that sounds like a lot, and of course we talk about how with League starting, it's a very currency-dependent style. You can't start it until probably Act 2, you're going to have to be trading a lot, so just, yes, Thorns has some friction. If you're going to play it, you are going to have fun, but if you're someone who wants literally the most brain-off experience, you don't want any friction, you want to just run through the game, and you want to kill literally every single boss in the game, I'm telling you right now, Thorns isn't for you. It can't do everything yet. Maybe there's some passive tree changes and new unique changes and stuff that will solve that, but if I'm being as honest as I can, Thorns has problems. It cannot do everything. It can do 99% of the game in the last patch. But if you want to, if you're not going to be satisfied if you can't clear the hardest of like Breach tier 4 and Arbiter tier 4, I would maybe avoid Thorns. And if you're someone who gets frustrated at deaths, if you're someone who doesn't like a steep learning curve, there is honestly a learning curve to Thorns. It's not that Thorns is complicated, but you have to learn all of the boss fights. So I just want to get that out there. I know that sounded very negative and dooming from the guy who's the Thorns guy. I really love Thorns and it's a lot of fun. I just don't want any of you diving into it and then... yeah, just feel like your time was wasted. I hope the expectation is set that it is very fun, but you should expect some friction. Again, I like to say Thorns is Thorns is more in early access than PoE 2 is. The rest of the game is ahead of Thorns. The developers are still playing catch-up here. They're catching up really fast. Every patch, the build gets way better, but yeah. We will overcome, though. I made Thorns work in 0-1. It was a lot of fun in the last patch. There's plenty of people who have played Thorns in the chat. They can vouch for me that, yes, while there is friction, overall, you are going to have a wonderful time. So let me go through the guide real quick. Just the major points, and then I'll read chat, you guys. For Act 1 for a League start, if you're doing this on your first character League start, you should not be expecting to play Thorns until Act 2, and maybe even deeper until the end of Act 2. First of all, let's just say you somehow had the currency by level 8. Thorns does not feel like Thorns until level 16. It's not just about getting the helmet, but the amount of Thorns damage you get on your gear from level 1 and level 8 Thorns gear is not enough. Now, let's just say we have a bunch of new runes for Thorns damage. That changes things. But right now, League start Thorns, level 1 through 16, even if you somehow bought the best level 8 Thorns set and somehow had barbs and quill bursts, it's not good enough damage to be worth it. You are better off leveling any other League starter for Act 1 and potentially into Act 1. Now, what I would do is I would potentially be saving a lot of my best currency if you can. So you can be, like, when you hit Act 2 or the end of Act 1 and you're level 16, you can trade for the full Thorns set. But just expect for you not to be playing Thorns for all of Act 1. You will be playing anything else. Now, I have set it up for, we will be playing either Shield Charge, Disengage, Stomping Ground, or you'll be playing the standard Rolling Slam, Bone Shatter. I am going to have in the video guide a breakdown of how to play this leveling setup. I'm also going to link to a few other League starters of some of my friends. I mean, even though we're a warrior, you can level as Edie Khan through Act 1, as funny as that sounds. So, any League starter will work for you. I have set us up with a non-Thorns League starter. Yeah, just assume you're not playing Thorns for a while. Now, when you hit Act 2 and you have the currency to purchase Thorns, there are 5 things you want to do. You want to get Crown of the Pale King. It is required for Thorns. No matter what, this has to be purchased. You're going to want to get Briar Patch. You will use these forever, and based off of these last 2 patches, both of these items should be either 1 Regal Orb or 1 Exalted Orb. For the first hour-ish, Crown of the Pale King was an Exalted Orb, and then it turned into a Regal Orb. So, we'll have to see. There's going to be a little bit more Thorns demand this patch, but I seriously doubt it's like a meta popular playstyle, so these 2 should be very cheap. And then from there, you're going to want to buy a belt, a chest piece, and a shield. All level 16 with the good damage roll on Thorns. And once you have this set up here, at level 16, this will carry you to level 38. You do not have to upgrade your gear until you clear most of Act 3. Now, you're going to want to upgrade your gear at level 28 because your damage, it more than doubles, and it makes the game comically easy at level 28. But I just want to explain this specific power spike for level 16. Invest into these 5 pieces, get the best 5 of these as you can, for cheap, of course. And then this will carry you well past 28. But the level brackets you're going to be buying Thorns gear at is 16, 28, 38, 48, and 60. That's when the Thorns rolls upgrade. I am going to try and have trade links prepared so you guys can just click, like when you'll like start here and then you go to level 16 guide, and then I will hopefully have trade links set up where it'll say belt and you'll click belt and it'll load up the level 16 belts that can have the best Thorns roll for you. And then it'll have shield and body armor. And each of these tabs will hopefully have a trade link for you set up. But that is the most important part of leveling up with Thorns, is this power spikes you get. Like, just look at this number here. Level 16 Thorns is 11 to 23. 28 is 24 to 53. That's more than double. The damage spike you get is insane. At this point, you're going to have percent increases of Thorns damage. You're going to have multiple ranks of Scavenge Plating. So, upgrading these 5 pieces throughout the campaign is the most important bit. Now, I want to talk about the maces and the spears aspect of this. If you look through this guide, from level 28 to endgame, I have it currently set up to use a mace in the main hand and a spear in the offhand. This is for Wind Dancer. I am going to be seeing how well the Wind Dancer pairs with Thorns during leveling. We have a lot more access to Spirit Gems from a vendor now, and we are going to be able to get a lot more value out of stacking support gems and stuff. So I'm going to see how it feels. Also, the dex requirement on Wind Dancer being lower is huge. So it's going to be very easy to keep up with this. Now, if it doesn't work out, we're just going to drop the maces, and we're just going to play the standard Rake Rapid Assault style. But that's just to quickly explain why the mace is there. The maces have a higher base attack damage than spears, and they have easier access to melee skills. So, melee skills and the weapon damage are huge for Wind Dancer's damage, so Wind Dancer is going to hopefully give us a little bit more AoE clear throughout the campaign. And yeah, the video I do tomorrow will be more in depth. The passive tree I'm not going to bother going into. This was just something I threw together really fast. It won't look anything like this because we're getting a new tree. But yeah, I hope to have it fully updated by launch. Like, hopefully we get the passive tree a couple hours before launch, but yeah, I mean, it might be like we're playing it by ear. This is the biggest question mark, is the passive tree, but each of the tabs should have all of the trade links for you by the time we come to launch. And then when you click each of the tabs, make sure you read this top portion up here. Like for level 16 through 28, it has a very detailed section about Trial of Secamus, and I'll link to my Trial of Secamus video. But yeah, I think the most important thing I need to finish for it is the trade links. But this guide has most of what you need right now for the league start. Unfortunately, there's so many question marks still with like which skill setup we should use, what's the best league start, and what the passive tree is going to look like. But I hope this at least gives you guys something to follow along with. Now, I'm sorry, I'm going to read through chat now, you guys. But yeah, go ahead and ask questions about the setup now. It's live, so you guys can follow it. Now, to talk about mana stacking Thorns, I mean, mana stacking Thorns could be huge. I like haven't even fully processed it, because I honestly think mana stacking Thorns could work on a Warbringer. It would just require me to like completely restructure the leveling stuff, and I don't know if I want to blindly go into mana stacking Thorns with a lot of you guys following you. So, if I do mana stacking Thorns, it'll be like an uber endgame transition on the Warbringer, or I'm going to level a Chronomancer like day 3, and I'm going to do it on a Chronomancer. But yeah. So Doom Blitz, I don't think so for Thorns. The 100 passive points, I don't see that having application for Thorns. It just depends on what the passive tree looks like, but Thorns is pretty like pigeonholed in how it has to build itself. There's not a lot of flexibility with its style, and I don't see how you're going to be able to like abuse weapon sets extremely well with Thorns to the extent that other skills would. Like Sorcery Ward and Witch Hunter still might be very good for Thorns, but I don't know about the 100 passive points for Thorns. Because I don't, if I still went Witch Hunter, I don't know if I would even take that. Why Chronomancer curious? The recoup. I did a Chronomancer, I tried doing mana stacking Thorns on a Chronomancer last patch, and it didn't really work, but I learned a lot about recoup Thorns, and recoup Thorns work really well on the, defensively at least, for the Chronomancer, and with mana stacking getting lots of buffs and all that nonsense, I just want to try it again on the Chrono. I don't know if Chrono would be better. I'm sure Infernals would be better. Hey Rusty, hope you're doing well too, man. Yeah, I mean, Avatar of Fire Thorns, like, I'm not set up for it on the end game right now because I have no idea what it would honestly look like with the new tree, but I am assuming when we transition to Uber endgame, we are going to be playing an Avatar of Fire Thorns. Is Titan good for Thorns build? Yes. Titan is very good for Thorns. So, like, just looking at the current tree, right? A lot of Thorns power comes from the passive tree. So, you've got 12% increased Thorns damage here, 12% increased Thorns damage here, 16, 16, 16, 16, 10, 10. You got critical damage bonus. I assume these 3 nodes are getting reworked soon for better Thorn stuff, and we might get new Thorns nodes as well. Hulking Form is like one of the best ways to get raw Thorns damage. Just straight up, like, Titan is arguably the best endgame ascendancy, like pure endgame ascendancy. It is very possible that I level as a Warbringer, and then at like level 90, because you can ascendancy swap in this game now, in case you guys haven't played since 0.1, they added ascendancy swap. So, it's very possible that I play the entire endgame until Warbringer, or as Warbringer, and then like at some point when I'm stuck on tier 4 Arbiter or something, I swap the Titan. Yep, Venos, there's a lot of ways. Opinions on Svalin? I'm not sure, Royal. I've been told interesting math on it. So, like, apparently, like, I don't know. Svalin could be very good. The problem with Svalin and any unique that goes in the belt, shield, or belt, armor, and shield slot is you give up a lot of Thorns damage. The reason Chernobog Pillars works is you gain 1% of damage as fire damage per chance to block. So we'll have 75% block as Warbringer, so we're getting 75% fire damage, and this is like, it's a lot of damage. And this scales directly off of Scavenge Plating, which is a lot of extra Thorns damage. So Svalin might make you tankier, but the amount of damage you're losing from Chernobogs, like, I don't know if that'll be worth the trade-off. I'm not against Svalin, but Chernobog is a lot of damage for Thorns. Chernobog is probably forever Biss as long as it gives you this much damage. Especially if we go Fire Thorns. There was a passive node during the live stream that was like right here. That was your fire damage benefits from armor break. And Warbringer gets negative armor break. So, yeah. I think people, not a lot of people, I've seen plenty of creators talking about the potential of fire damage and fire on Warbringer, but I think a lot of like the community is sleeping on the potential of it, because I don't see them, like everyone shits on Warbringer and Warriors right now, but fire with Warbringer is going to be nasty, I think. Yeah, I don't know. Like, maybe it's just because I'm an off-meta creator, but since 0.1, I have always thought Titan was the best ascendancy in the game. I have always put it, like, super S tier. And I guess it's just because I make off-meta builds, so the passive tree is, like, where I thrive, right? The passive tree is how you make off-meta builds live. Like, all of your power, like, you just, like... You get your niche, and then you figure out your problems with the niche, and you solve it via the passive tree. And hulking form is like, I don't know, I love it. Like, on Titan, I've done minion builds, I've done Thorns, I've done so many different styles of builds on Titan. It's so fun. Would you swap to Wind Dancer? No. I mean, I'm using it for leveling. I don't see me keeping it for endgame. I have it here for endgame for now. No, my first character is committed to Thorns. I'm going to be pushing Thorns as far as I possibly can. What scales Thorns damage other than percent Thorns damage? Well, it depends, right? Like, if it's Elemental Thorns, so you have Lightning Thorns, Lightning damage will scale it, right? If you have Physical Thorns, Physical damage will scale it. So, like, those specific archetypes get boosted by, like, those things. Crit is the best way to play Thorns right now in terms of damage. And with the new helmets we have, well, one right now, let me just show you guys these, because I'm sure some of you might not be aware of these, because I haven't been showing them on stream. We won't be leveling with these, because these are an endgame rune, but there are the Runes of Teething. They're an endgame rune that gives you 1 to 100 Lightning Thorns damage. So, baseline, everyone just gets a lot of Lightning Thorns in endgame, but we have a new helmet that I don't have the rune in for it yet, but it gives you 50% increased critical strike chance with Thorns. And it's very easy if you stack that rune in your helmet to get 100% Thorns crit chance. With no, like, very minimal investment on the passive tree. With literally just this area right here, you don't need to take any of this. With this area right here and those Thorns runes, you can get almost 100% crit chance with Thorns. And the boots, of course, too. You have the boots, too. So, like Thorns is just also the other best way to scale right now. Which thoughts on Bleed Thorns on Witch Hunter? Bleed Thorns is good. Go look up my Ritualist Thorns build from last season. How many subs do I have to get to see a hardcore slow stuff on Thorns run? Oh, there's no amount right now. Not until there's more deterministic crafting for uniques. Or we get Crown of the Pale... If we get Crown of the Pale King's effect as a... whatever these things are called, Keystone, then yes, I would be down for hardcore solo phone. It could be Diet Plane. I have no idea. There's so many question marks to, like, endgame scaling right now. If I missed your guys' question, please re-ask it. I'm not used to having this many chatters. Appreciate your nice words, Connor. Yeah, I have like a 26-minute Thorns video, and I talk about the passive tree a lot. One of my problems I have is, like, a lot of, like, this is the best Thorns passive right here, because it's, like, it's pure defensive, right? You get all, like, you never have to flask once you have this. All of your Thorns damage leeches, no matter what elemental damage or flavor of damage it is, and we need more, like, Thorns things that just boost our defenses. Hey, Doomblitz, thanks for the Prime, man. Appreciate you, bro. But yeah, check out my Ritualist guide, Anthony. I play Bleed Thorns on it, and this guide was originally set up for Bleed Thorns. I swapped out Wind Dance or Herald of Blood for Wind Dancer today, because I want to try leveling with Shield Charge. It was originally a Rake setup, and I changed it to Shield Charge last minute. I'm just praying Shield Charge is good. But yeah, this chess piece right here, it's not updated yet, but this is being changed. I think it's like 10 to 18% of your maximum mana as Lightning Thorns damage. This, like, I don't have it on the gear setup right now, but it might be, like, it might join the list of uniques that has to become required. I'm really excited about Ice Tomb. Like, I'm insanely excited about it. Because, like, even on a Warbringer, it's going to give you so much flat Thorns. Without even, like, trying, so... Like, at least through the early game. And then, like, late game, I just, like... I don't know. Like, I see a world where endgame, we're doing something like... You don't even come down here. You anoint Vengeance. You might even not know. Yeah, no, you wouldn't even do Vengeance. I don't know. Like, you might just, like, come straight up here and do, like, a block version. Like, you get, like, the block stuff for the block damage. So you get Lay Siege and Offensive Stance. And you would just say, screw all this. And you would just mana stack and just do, like, Eldritch's Battery Cheese and... like, mana recoup, and, like, with block and stuff, the glancing blows, and, like, it could be insane. Like, even Warbringer, like, it might be sad to do, but we might be turning Warbringer into a melee boy, into a mana stacking energy shield Thorns boy. Like, I still feel like this could work with mana stacking late game and be insane. We'll have to see, though. No, Royal. In this patch, nothing increased Quill Burst. That I could try. That would be the best application of it, Bob. Witch Hunter's weapon swap would work if you're utilizing the new support gem that makes your Thorns damage deal twice. Like, there's definitely a chance for it. It's just... I would not be... Without having the passive tree, I would not be comfortable being like, yes, go Witch Hunter Thorns right now with the 100 extra passives, because you can make, like... With how the passive tree set up right now for Thorns, I don't see you getting the value out of the 100 passives that you would most other builds, but who knows what the new passive tree is going to be. It could... I am going to be doing a Witch Hunter Thorns, like, as my third character, I'm pretty sure. So at that point, I'll have a better knowledge of how to abuse those 100 points. Oh, the potential is for real there, for sure. Especially with the new support gem. Like, I have to keep in mind we have a new support gem coming. So we have Barbs, right? Barbs makes our next 4 attacks do Thorns damage. And then we have 2 upgraded versions of it. Barbs 2, which is 6 attacks. And then Barbs 3, I think, which is your next attack does Thorns twice, which is designed for slower hits. So, and if the Thorns damage scales off the slower hit, then it could be really good. Endgame, we can Prize Pain and apply Thorns with Shield Charge. So there might be applications with Prize Pain. We'll have to see. Every time we tried it in this patch, Prize Pain was not worth it. Right now, so let's just say I swapped Soldier's Cuirass out, right? I swapped it out for the new Ice Tomb, right? That's 4 uniques. So if I'm going to use Prize Pain, that's 5 uniques. So that means I have to cover my defenses and my resistances with just these 4 slots. 1 ring, amulet, belt, and gloves. So that's just like, I'm not saying it can't work. It's just anytime we talk about adding a new unique, like losing rings are huge. You get so much stats and resistances from rings. So that's where just my hesitation with it, that ring is. It's just because it's a good leveling ring, but late game, you're gonna want a juiced rare ring. Like, are you all worried about scavenging plate? No, because we're playing Warbringer. That's the reason why I'm going Warbringer, is so no one has to worry about armor break. Which are the 3 big uniques? What's the 3rd big one, Bob? Are you talking about Chernobog? Are your 3 bigs Crown of the Pale King, Briar Patch, and Chernobog? How are you resetting your armor break on bosses? It's Splinter. Where is it? Splinter for late game, whenever you can get it. But early game, it'll be Leap Slam. I should have put Leap Slam on here. I thank you for pointing that out to me. Yeah, until you can get Splinter. No, that doesn't go here. Leap Slam goes here. Yeah, until you get Splinter, which I think it's a tier 2 support gem. Not Splinter, I'm sorry. Exploit Weakness, my god. I'm sorry, I'm sure I just confused the fuck out of a lot of you. So, he asked how you remove armor break. So on bosses, you want to remove armor so you can keep your stacks of Scavenge Plating going. When you are a Warbringer, all your damage does armor break, so you can't remove it. So you need a forced way to remove armor break. Leap Slam. Leap Slam removes armor. I think you get it at 20 something? 24? I don't remember. And then after that, you eventually get Exploit Weakness. And then you just put that in Spear Slam. 22 for our Sleep Slam. Okay, yeah, so 22, yeah. So yeah, 22 you get Leap Slam. And that's around the same time you will be getting your Warbringer Ascendancy. So you should be able to clear Anvil's weights by then. And then eventually, yeah, eventually you just get Exploit Weakness and you put it in Spear Stab or Mace Strike and you just poke them to remove it. You can also just put Exploit Weakness in other skills. Like, you could probably put it in Wind Dancer. So, like, if you're running... That might actually be what we do. If, like... Because Wind Dancer is mainly for, like, helping with AoE clear on mapping. But on bossing, you might have Wind Dancer, Exploit Weakness, and Wind Dancer. So it's, like, auto-clearing it on bosses for you. That might be a way to automate it. I'll have to think about that. I'll probably test it while leveling. Are we going to use the melee version of Caltrops? I'm going to test it out. Caltrops, probably, I'm guessing it doesn't scale, like, as, like, you won't be able to scale it while playing traditional Thorns. You're going to have to choose the, like, you have to be playing that build. It would be like a Caltrops build, almost. Yes, all Caltrops scales with Thorns damage, but you don't have to play, so, okay, it's misleading. Or maybe it's different, but the way those things worked in 0.2 was when it said it scales with your Thorns damage, it meant stuff like this. The percent increased modifiers. 16% increased Thorns damage. So Caltrops gets boosted by this stuff, but it doesn't get boosted by Thorns damage on gear. Like this stat here, the 24 to 35 physical Thorns damage. So you just get a bunch of percent increased Thorns damage, but you don't actually have to wear Thorns gear for Caltrops. So you end up not having to, you know, do that style. Unfortunately. Or else you'd be, like, running around with Caltrop stuff with, like, Scavenge Plating at max stacks, and you'd just be getting so much damage. Can I level Thorn without using any mace skills? Yeah. Spear skills, for sure. I mean, the main way you play is spear skills. Like, if you look here, you're almost only using Rapid Assault. Rapid Assault's a spear skill. So, Rapid Assault, it does 4 stabs in like 1.5 seconds. It's and the way Barbs works is when you get hit, your next 4 attacks deal your Thorns damage. So Rapid Assault is like required for Thorns as a spear skill. It's the fastest way to get multiple strikes out for Barbs, because like how hard your spear and your melee attack doesn't actually matter for this build. All that matters is your weapon is the tool to get the Thorns damage out. And your weapon is coated in a bunch of barbs. And it doesn't matter how hard you hit them with the weapon, you just gotta hit them with it. And all the barbs will stick to them. So that's where Rapid Assault comes in. It gets all of these Thorns and it quickly just shakes it all onto them and they take a bunch of damage. There is nothing like that in the game right now comparable for maces or quarterstaffs. That is as functional for barbs. So no matter what, you're like, as you see here, I've got the mace in the main hand. This is just to test Wind Dancer stuff. The real setup is always using a spear in your off setup. And if you don't want to use the mace at all, like the mace is literally only for scaling Wind Dancer. It's purely to like, I should honestly move the mace to weapon set 2, because the mace is a little bit deceiving. You're going to have the mace out while you're mapping and running around because you're going to be spamming Shield Charge a lot. Shield Charge is going to be doing Quill Burst, and Wind Dancer is going to be doing a lot of your AoE. And then Rapid Assault's mainly for bossing if you're min-maxing. But if you don't really care about the application of Wind Dancer and stuff, you don't need to use the mace. Just completely drop the mace. You're going to play Rake Rapid Assault, or Rapid Assault Shield Charge. This combo, like I think it's the Shield Charge, Disengage, double Stomping Ground combo is supposed to be insanely good. Yes. Yes, it does. As you can see here, Ocalius, I have Crackling Barrier in Shield Charge. We already doing it, my man. Now, I don't know what level we're going to get Crackling Barrier in the next patch, so it might not be by 28 or by level 16. I have it on the Mobalytics, though. But yes. That is part of the reason why I am using Shield Charge now instead of Rake. We're going to be spamming a lot of Shield Charge while mapping. Hopefully, Stomping Ground and Quill Burst and Crackling Barrier is great for that. And then Rapid Assault is our bossing tool. So for Rapid Assault, in endgame, you put hit and run in it, which makes yours even faster. So you get like a really fast burst off. It's not ideal in a lot of situations. In some situations, sometimes you'll take it out depending on the boss fight, but it's really good for a big burst. What's the most passive way of playing Thorns? I mean, you have to play the Warbringer style. This is the best way to play a passive Thorns right now until we know more about Wind Dancer, Gandalf. Unfortunately, there's just still a lot of friction with Thorns. So, like, Thorns doesn't come online until you're, like, in, like, one of these areas. So, once Thorns is online, it's immediately brain dead. Like, immediately. Once you have all of the good stuff, either the level 16 spike with all of this, or the level 28 spike with all of this, whichever one you commit to first, Like, it comes online immediately then, but from there, like, before then, you know, it's awful. So, Briar Patch, Pale King, and Dreadfist. As far as I know, none of these 3 were touched. We have not seen any changes on those yet. Is this a viable endgame for acquiring currency? Yeah. It's not like what, it depends on what you mean by viable. Like, can you farm currency with it? I mean, probably, like, yes, you can farm currency with it, but are you ever going to go Thorns as a currency farming build? Fuck no. So, yes, you can invest into rarity. Yes, you can do higher tier maps to get more divines. You can farm the tower setups. You can farm citadels, but it's not the fastest movement speed build. It's actually pretty slow because you're Thorns and you have a bunch of armor slowing you down, and you really can't stack rarity, which might not be a big deal in this patch. We'll have to see. But yeah, I mean, it can, but it's not a currency farming character, you know. Is it a boss killer? It's a certain boss killer. It's a certain boss killer. Like, here, give me a second. Like, it depends on the attack pattern for the boss. You deal your Thorns damage when you're hit, right? So if a boss hits you 1,000 times in 1 second, and you do 1,000 instances of Thorns to him, guess what? You fucking killed that boss real good. But, if he hits you once every 10 seconds, and every one of those hits for 50 million damage, that boss is killing you. You know what I mean? Yeah, Thorns is not... Again, Thorns is early access. I'm just going to keep saying Thorns is early access. Do not expect to be able to do the entire game, but 99% of it. You will be able to... I have farmed plenty of divines with it, Ken Collins. It just depends on, like... That's always almost a personal question that you have to figure out, like, what they mean. Like, to someone like me, I make maybe 50 to 100 divines throughout the league. That might be a lot to some of you. Some of you might only see 10 to 20 divines throughout the entire league. Some people see thousands and thousands of divines throughout the league. So it really just depends on what you mean by, you know, that. But yes. I don't farm currency, though. I'm not a currency farmer, so I've never tried, like, pushing Thorns to be a currency farmer, but I would say it's probably not. Well, let me show you real quick. I'll get a Thorns video going so you guys can see. Which video? This damage. You can primarily... Shut up, Kal. Okay. So, this is what I mean by, like, it can be a boss killer. So, you have, Zarok from, Sanctum. His lightning attack does, like, it's like 1 attack every 0.1 seconds. And when you're standing in it, like, obviously you don't want to be standing in it normally, but we're a Warbringer with, like, block and stuff, so you aren't going to take damage. Like, look at my honor, I'm taking no armor, but also look at his health. Like, I'll play it a couple times, like... This is where it's a boss killer, right? Like, you cannot deny that this isn't a boss killer. That just did... Let's look at that. You know, he's got, like, 600,000 damage, and now he's, like... So, it did, like, 1.4 million damage in about... I don't know... What was that, like, 2 seconds? And this was not min-max at this point. Like, this Warbringer right here doesn't have Chernobog. This guy is, like, look, he's got 2,000 health. This was, like, so long ago that, like, yeah, this was, like, one of my worst performing, like, early Thorns builds. And it did 2 million damage that fast. So, in some situations, like, yes, this is an insane boss killer. Look at this. 500,000 to, again, 2 million plus damage in 2 seconds. So in some situations, it's a lot. But then look at a boss like this. He's hitting me every 2 seconds, right? Now, this is at level 8, right? So this is a clip from level 8. Obviously, he's not getting hit by much Thorns. But you get what I mean by the attack patterns are what determines if it's a boss killer. Jets from Arbiter. I think I have an Arbiter clip in here someplace. It's like Arbiter, most of his attacks suck, but he's got this one right here, where you can chunk the hell out of him because you're getting hit by these fireballs. If you actually stand inside the fireballs, you're getting hit way more. Attacks like this, the Frost Breath is doing 1 attack every 0.1 seconds. Again, here comes the Fire Blast. Like, I just did 1 million damage to Arbiter in half a second. Like, this is Arbiter getting clobbered. I thought I had Zets. So there's the problem with Zets. Zets, everything he does hits really hard. So, like, you're constantly on the verge of death if you're not blocking. But, like, he's, like, one of the worst examples of a boss. I guess this is a bad clip in this video, but it just depends on the boss. Like, 95% of the bosses, Thorns works, but there are 5% of the bosses on that it's just miserable. Like, that's the best way to put it, is it's miserable. Because they are not designed for Thorns. Now, GGG has put in a support gem. That, like I said, I keep talking about it. It makes your attack do Thorns damage twice. This gives us a slow attack skill option for Thorns, and maybe that solves it. We also get a lot more damage from mana sacking Thorns, so who knows, but yes. I'm trying to be as transparent as I can with Thorns, guys. It's fun. And I promise most of you are going to have fun, but, like, if you get tripped up by, like, your performance in the league, if you want to full clear, and again, I promise you, you guys are going to die a lot. Like, if any of that sounds like you're going to not have fun, don't play Thorns, please. Wait until it's out of early access, the Thorns build. Hey, Kevin. All you meta slaves are probably out there playing Spark or Edie Con, duh. Something I'm curious about. Ancestral Cry has the attack melee tags. In theory, we can use Quill Burst with it. Does it have melee? Interesting. I'll have to try that out. I don't know what that would do. I don't think I've ever tested that interaction. Sorry, guys, I wasn't reading chat during that little rant. Hey, Kane. Appreciate you, bro. Had my best time with it. I hope you play it again, dude. I feel like we got a lot of buffs this time around. What would you recommend on Warrior to run for start? I'm running... I'm going to be trying out Shield Charge and Disengage. Oh, sorry, I'm on the wrong tab. So my league start, I have, like, I'm not planning to play Thorns 1 to 16. So I'm running Shield Charge and Disengage with both Stomping Ground. That's supposed to be pretty good. But I'm also set up to do the standard Rolling Slam, Mace Strike, Bone Shatter combo. Really, what you want for the Bone Shatter combo is you want Mace Strike. First you want to just get a good two-hander. Just get any two-hander Mace. When you check their vendors constantly for a good two-handed mace, that's all you need is a good two-handed mace, and it'll carry you throughout the entire act. The first support gem you're going to get is Concentrated Effect in Mace Strike. Mace Strike is your best DPS for all of Act 1. Don't be spamming Rolling Slam and Bone Shatter on bosses like a dingus. Your best DPS from all of Act 1, if you get a solid two-handed mace, which as long as you're paying attention to the vendor, and you'll be able to get a blue one with good damage, it will carry you the entire act. So the first thing you're going to get is Concentrated Effect into Mace Strike. And then after that, you're going to get Impact, Shockwave, and Bone Shatter. the Rolling Slam, Animation Cancel, and the Bone Shatter. So the Rolling Slam Shockwave primes Bone Shatter, Impact Shockwave. So you want a Rolling Slam, the first hit connects, and then you Animation Cancel with Bone Shatter, and you will clear all mobs around you. This combo right here, the Rolling Slam, Bone Shatter, Impact Shockwave, is the best two-handed mace clear you can get. Maybe totems might be better, we'll have to see. But for Act 1, this is the, like, fallback. Impact Shockwave, Rolling Slam. It might be what I go with first, but there's a lot of hype around the Shield Charge, Stomping Ground with the Animation Cancel, Disengage, Stomping Ground. There's potential of a lot of damage here, but yeah, it really just depends on the state of Shield Charge. Shield Charge might be able to carry us through the act by strength stacking and just spamming Shield Charge with a high armor shield. But yeah. Interesting, Warsup. I wonder if the affixes got changed, or maybe I have them listed wrong. But I could have sworn... Maybe I have them listed wrong. Maybe they got updated recently. I'm not sure. I'll have to check that, Warsup. Thank you for pointing it out to me. But I'm pretty sure if you go look at the trade site, Warsup, it's 1, 8, 16, 22, 38, 48, 60. But yeah, I'll check later. By the way, new Stomping Ground scales with your weapon now, not strength anymore. Wow. Are you serious? Huh. I'm guessing that's a nerf for, like, power speed leveling, because you used to be able to get that Mega Nords and get that, like, so you used to be able to get a lot of strength way sooner than you should have been able to. I feel like that would be able, like, you'd be able to get way more strength earlier than you'd be able to get a really good two-handed earlier. I'm not saying Stomping Ground's dead by any means. It's still going to scale well, but it's going to scale how it should. I think it's a good change. It's probably a nerf, but it's probably a good change. That would definitely make the Stomping Ground setup worse, though. You would have to have a good two-hander, period. And then you wouldn't be able to use Stomping Ground and Shield Charge and Disengage then. Because you have to have a spear and a shield for that. So if it is scaling off of your weapon, you would have a one-handed mace instead. And maybe, like, I doubt an early game one-handed mace is going to scale Stomping Ground super high. We'll have to see. So more than likely, just expect to play Rolling Slam, Bone Shatter. But, again, keep in mind, Mace Strike, guys. Mace Strike, Mace Strike, Mace Strike. Kill your bosses with Mace Strike. Do not be spamming Rolling Slam and Bone Shatter on the bosses for Act 1. You will get more DPS swinging this thick boy. Put Fire Infusion in it, too, or something. That's a good point, Arcadence. I agree. Can you add to the guide the priority of which support gems to get? Yep. I'll do that, Dexter. Quillburst and Barbs can be socketed multiple times now. Can we do a skill rotation for potential infinite proc Thorns? I don't think so. There's no way to self-proc Thorns, so... Or all the ways that self-proc Thorns that we've tried crash the client. Because it causes an infinite, and because the infinite has no out, the game crashes. So... There are ways that, so yes, there are ways to self-proc Thorns, but it crashes the game. No. No, you only get Thorns when you get hit. You only get procs of the stuff from getting hit, you know, and then attacking. Like, there's no, like, I don't think there's going to be any interaction like that unless I'm, like, completely missing something. Hey, it could be, Dester. It could be. Well, so this is specifically a, Bruno Matos, this is specifically a League Start guide, so I don't have the Runes of Teething anywhere until the endgame guide. I'm assuming everybody is leveling with no Runes of Teething. So, like, yeah, I could add a section for, like, lightning leveling and stuff, but it won't be for this character. This is the League Start guide, so I'm assuming everyone's leveling with, like, budget trade Thorns gear. Question, is calling yourself a king and god arrogant? I don't know, that's just the way of Torak, man. What's up, Blitz? But yes, they answer your question. Yes, okay, that's fucking arrogant as crazy, dude. For those that don't know, the name KallTorak is from a book, the Belgariad. The god Torak is his name, and he gives himself the title Kall, and Kall means king and god in that book. So his name is Torak, he's a god, but he calls himself KallTorak. Everyone calls him KallTorak. When I didn't used to go by KallTorak. My whole handle used to be Zoya, but when I was playing WoW, in TBC Classic, I transferred servers. My old name was taken, and I was rereading the book at that point. And KallTorak, I was an orc warrior, and KallTorak just sounded like an orc warrior name, so I was like, fuck it. And then, yeah, the name just kind of hung out. Do many people get or bring up the reference? No. I mean, it happens. I would say maybe 20 to 30 times, but it's not often. Even for my generation, it's a book from before, I was born in 90. I'm 35, and it's an older, it's it's a book that my dad read, and he's the one that told me to read it, so you know. I don't think many of the, even people in my age group have read that book. Am I naive in thinking of going Warbringer for the armor break node just to have easy upkeep for scavenge plating? That's why I'm going Warbringer. Okay, and the reason why I'm league starting Warbringer is so, for that reason, I can navigate not having that armor break, but it makes the Thorns playstyle very comfy. So that's why I'm league starting the Warbringer, because I know a lot of you are following what I'm doing, and I want you guys to have the comfiest time possible. If I was league starting what I wanted to league start, I'd be league starting a Witch Hunter, probably. But yes, that's why I am playing Warbringer. It makes, the armor break node is, it makes Thorn, you should always play, if your first time is playing Thorns, you should play a Warbringer. It just makes the playstyle so nice. The 75% block I think is going to be good too, but we'll see. Your trial points don't show up either. Yeah, the passive tree skill, ignore the passive tree, guys. This is all chicken scratch. I just threw this together because I didn't want it to be empty. I just, clicked stuff and was like, okay, I'm just going to have this here. But yeah, I don't have the Warbringer passive selected yet. The whole passive tree is getting overhauled, and this is getting changed too. So I'm waiting until we have the passive tree to update this, because this whole thing might get changed. We might be playing Mana Stacker, and I have to run up here and get a bunch of Lightning Thorn stuff. We might be playing Avatar of Fire and, hanging out down here getting a bunch of armor break stuff. So yeah, the passive tree is, completely bullshit. Ignore it completely for now. If you have barbs on 2 different attacks, when it proc, the first attack will consume barb or the second one. So you just have 4. So when you get hit and you deal Thorns damage back, then you get 4 stacks of barbs. The next 4 hits you do from an attack will do Thorns damage. So it can be 1 skill, 1 skill, 1 skill, 1 skill. It could be 4 times of 1 skill. It could be 1 skill twice, 1 skill another time, 1 skill twice. But more than likely, you're getting hit so often, you're not going through all of those charges. But yes, that's how it works. You could technically alternate skills as long as you had barbs in both. Yes. Okay, so I assume that's how it will work. We can't stack gems in this patch, so we don't know if that's how it would work. I would assume that's how it works, though. Warbringer does feel too easy for Thorns. It is the most frictionless experience for Thorns as possible. Like, I loved my Ritualist Thorns. Ritualist Thorns was my most favorite from last league. So I agree with you. Warbringer is easy mode Thorns. That's the best way to put it. You get a lot more complexity and depth from the other ones. But Warbringer Thorns is like, yeah, I've just got a lot of people who are first time Thornsing. And, yeah, I've already explained that. I mean, I want to league start Witch Hunter 2, Bob. I don't know, Johnny. Yeah, so, man, it's so tough because I have minion builds I want to visit early on too. But, like, I really want to do a mana stacking Chronomancer Thorns. It's just... I imagine by the end of the weekend, I've gotten the Warbringer 90+, and I'm ready to start the new character. I just don't know if I'm going to do my Minion Swarm Lich or a mana stacking Chronomancer. God, it's so tough. There's so much I want to play. Ugh. With the changes of Blood Mage, I think if it was not for the 2 crit nodes swapping on the left, it would have been insane for Thorns. Agreed. Yep, Druid Thorns is going to be amazing. I'm so hyped for it. The passive tree has to be massive. When you see the before and after, like, you get so many more nodes. Here, let me get the before and after so I can show you guys on stream. The before and after is crazy. Let me see if I can find where it's at. I've linked it to so many people. I know I gotta find the link fast someplace. There it is. Cool. Alright, so this is our current passive tree. This is our current passive tree. Now, this image is stitched together from, like, screenshots and stuff, so it's not, like, complete. But look at the difference. It's like, I've described it as, like, you're looking up at the city, the stars, and the city lights go out, and, like, suddenly you see all of the sky. Like, look how much is getting added. Let's just zoom into, like, this section down here. Watch this lower half. Look how much it's going to change. Bruh. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? How can anyone predict what the fuck is about to happen? Look at this. Look at this difference. Like, what are we talking about? Like, I have no idea what's about to happen in this patch. Look at all of this getting added and changed. The entire south side of the tree just got giga massive. Look at the difference. It doesn't even look like the same game. I'm so sad we don't have the passive tree yet. I wish it was easier to zoom in. It's so hard to control this fucking thing. I'm trying to zoom in right here. What is that node right there? Right here. What are those icons? And this is on the deck side of the strength decks. Can you link it? Yeah, I'll link it. Give me a second. But yeah. It's going to be awesome. Now, I don't know if any of this is going to be Thorns stuff. I am going to go ahead and go out on a limb and say none of it is Thorns stuff. But that doesn't mean the Thorns stuff didn't get changed and it didn't get buffed. Right here, supposedly, someplace down here. Oh, it's down here. I see it. Right here. I think this is something right here is your fire damage benefits from armor break. Which is going to be huge for Avatar of Fire Thorns. Like, look at this. We got new shit here. What is this? Projectile stuff? This whole lightning... Oh my god. Lightning Thorns? This whole lightning stuff... I think that's lightning, right? Is that lightning stuff? I don't remember. I don't remember that is. That might not be lightning. Oh, the lightning stuff's over here to the right. Never mind. I was at the wrong spot. Never mind. The lightning stuff's right there. I don't know what that is. Let me check. What was this? Oh, it was electrocute build-up stuff. Interesting. Yeah, we're not going to use that with Thorns. Yeah. That was the one's GIF? Yeah. So, like, right there, like, that whole node might be what we're playing this entire build around. Like, we might be doing Avatar of Fire Thorns very early on with negative armor break. We'll have to see how that scales the damage and stuff. Okay, so let's just take a look through. So, updates to the gear stuff. I'm going to try and get trade links set up for you guys. I'm not making promises on the trade links because I don't know if they're going to, like, work properly on launch. So, trade links might have to be, like, a day after launch type thing, but... yeah. I'm really hoping shield charge works out, you guys. The biggest question mark the biggest thing that would ruin this, though, is if, like, the trade site, like, all the trade changes broke trade. So, like, imagine this trade doesn't work. That screws us all over for Thorns. Like, that's the only thing that can ruin the League launch for Thorns, is if, like, trade just breaks, right? Because at that point, we're just gonna have to level until trade fixes itself, and then we can get stuff. But, hopefully, if you guys follow along with me live, or at least, like, check into the stream every once in a while, you can see how I'm leveling in case that happens. But I have a feeling sometime in this area, Thorns is going to turn Giga for us all. If trade breaks, would you switch to Wind Dancer? Maybe. I don't know. If trade breaks, I would probably just, like, on the fly, like, play something new and see if it felt good. I have no idea. My hope is that everything is going to be okay. Now, my question is, you guys, do you think the servers are going to survive? A lot of people are freaking out, but we have to keep in mind we don't have the Chinese players, so I think their servers should be up, right? So, yep, we have Cold and Lightning Thorns now. Yep, I have Ice Tomb on this list, and, like, right now, this is not set up to wear Ice Tomb, but we might be leveling with Ice Tomb from level 16. Because if this is another level 16 unique, like, we have a level 11, 16, 16 that you're leveling with the entire campaign, so. Sure, Royal. Yeah, I mean, every trade system has, like, flaws and stuff like that, Kane. It depends. Yeah, I've seen this guy's build before. It's just like my thing with these kind of builds is Like, I've never been able to playtest them because, like, they're so expensive and they're, like... I mean, this guy's setup is Giga, so... It looks like it works in theory. My problem with Resonating Shield, I just didn't like Resonating Shield when I checked. It looks like he's doing the mana stacking style. I mean, it looks cool. This is just an expensive setup, so... It's the build he linked. It's just a rituals build. I don't want to show it on stream, so I don't want people getting baited into it. It looks interesting. I'm curious to see footage of it. But this looks like more like meme shit to me. I don't think this would be, like, practical in most situations. It's probably like maybe a simulacrum farming build. Oh, Chinese servers aren't online for 9 days? I am guessing, Royal, when I see a build like this, it's like a simulacrum farm build or something weird like that, where it's a build where he's literally just sitting there in simulacrum, and just holding Resonating Shield down and auto-farming it with, like, chaos stuff. Like, that's my guess. Like, I don't see how he's, like, clearing, like, he's not playing traditional Thorns with that. You know what I mean? Yeah, so by the time I had quit Lightning Thorns, mid-size, I never had a Chernobog. Like, when I was playing Lightning Thorns in, like, last league, when I played my Warbringer, was when Chernobog was, like, a 50 divine item. So I never got to play with Chernobog until I had already moved on way past that character, and I didn't want to, like, revisit it. But, yeah, Chernobog, like, if you had Chernobog on the launch with the Lightning Thorns, it had to have been insane. It was super OP, that's awesome, yeah. Like, I hope they keep the drop rate, hey, later, Bob. I hope they keep the drop rate around, yes, agreed. I want it to be cheaper. I hope it's usable, this patch, because it's so good for Thorns. It's so good for Thorns. If we could all get a Chernobog for, like, a Divine or two, I think that's, like, the hugest thing for Thorns endgame. There's a lot of question marks with Wind Dancers, Azubi. There is a specific line from one of the patch notes that talks about an interaction with support gems that someone pointed out to me that might have nerfed a lot of Wind Dancer's armor explosion techniques. But in terms of its raw damage, all you need is a good two-hander for and with melee skills to scale Wind Dancer. I have leveled solo Self-Found as a Wind Dancer build. So, yes, you can win. As long as it's not nerfed, you can league start Wind Dancer. It's just different from Thorns. And it requires more trading, in my opinion. More specific trading. Nice. Someone talked about Adonia's ego. I think it might have been Kadachi. That sounds cool, too. That sounds really cool. But yeah, I just wanted to stream to show you guys this. I'm gonna have a video guide tomorrow that's like, I don't know what the title of the video is yet, but it's essentially like everything you need to know to league start Thorns. It is not a guide. The guide will be coming 1 to 2 days after launch. I'm going to do a Thorns Warbringer leveling guide and a Thorns Warbringer endgame guide after launch, but I'm not confident and comfortable enough to just be like, here is the leveling guide and releasing it tomorrow. There's just, like, we don't have the passive tree. There's so much I don't know about the campaign in Act 3 and 4, or with the trading, or the new uniques. I just can't call it a guide. But tomorrow I'm releasing, it's like, league, I don't know, it's gonna be something league start prep or something. Like, watch this before you league start Thorns. Maybe that's what it's called. That kind of video is releasing tomorrow, and it's going to go more in depth on the guide. It's going to go into, like, how you should level 1 to 16. It's going to be, I'm hoping it's going to just spell everything out for you, because, like, some of you probably shouldn't league start Thorns. Some of you are probably more, like, most of you are properly excited, but some of you are not ready for the pain. Like, you haven't heard me talk about the pain enough, and of certain bosses, and you're just gonna, yeah. I'm gonna just do the best I can with it. But, yeah, so that's gonna release tomorrow. It's just gonna be the league start walkthrough. I don't know if I'll have any other videos until either we get the passive tree or until launch. I will stream tomorrow, and I'm going to be doing League Start practice tomorrow. And then we're going to be we're going to be streaming all weekend. Oh, tomorrow, by the way, me, Miso, and Dead Rabbit are doing a mini episode of the podcast. We're calling it, like, a special episode. We don't know if we're going to call it, like, actually episode 8 or not. But tomorrow we're going to hang out tomorrow. We're calling it a hype pod. I forget what Miso called it. It's like a hype pod or something like that, or a patch or hype pod or something like that. We just want to get people excited for the launch. We're just gonna be like, you know, talking about our league start builds and stuff. It's not gonna be like a full natural episode, but it might actually be called episode 8. But yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna be hanging out with Miso and Dead Rabbit, and I'm either gonna be streaming before or after that. Can you use Persorklins for Thorns? Probably. I never tried it. Cold Thorns wasn't really possible in this last patch. Yeah, we're not getting the Atlas tree until patch day, so there might be like a live stream. Like the passive tree analysis might be while I'm already alive. Like if we're already live and we get the patch notes then. So yeah, so I'm just gonna say this. This is part of the video. I am proceeding under the impression that we're not going to get the passive tree. I am going forward assuming we are going in completely blind and going to have to wing it. Now, hopefully we get at least a few hours of time to make some guesswork on the passive tree. But, yeah, I just assume. Hey, Dirk, I'm sorry I missed your tier 1 sub, bro. When I need to get alerts that scream at me so I know to thank you guys when you sub. Thank you, Dirk, for the resubscription, man. I did not, yeah, I'm so sorry. I need to get my alerts set up, yes. I got like 6 or 7 subs today, guys. Thank you. You ran a Thorns build a tier 4 endgame bosses in point 2? Yeah, Life Intern. It can work. Are those Raycons? No, they're not Raycons, no. These are from glasses.com. What are they? They are Latchkey RX. I don't know if it's an actual brand. Are you going to make a video about the Witch Hunter change, the 100 passive points? I don't think so. We're going to talk about it on the podcast tomorrow, though. Oh. How long's Try been live? Oh, Try just went live. Okay. Try is going to do his podcast with Darth Microtransactions soon, so I'm going to host him. But yes, guys, so it'll be live either in the morning or around noon tomorrow, and then I'll be streaming after the video goes live. It'll be just the in-depth walkthrough of everything to expect for the league start, and yeah, I'm just trying to think if I'm missing. I feel like there's a video I'm forgetting to tell you guys about. It's my league start video tomorrow, and then, yeah, it just launched. Yeah, I guess we're just almost to launch, you guys, so, yeah, yeah, I'm just gonna go, you guys. I will be live a lot more tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm actually gonna be streaming league start practice, so if you guys want to actually see me play the Act 1 through 6 testing, yeah. Thanks, guys, for all the kind words and support about Thorns lately, and, like, yeah, it's just been fun making these builds, and, like, seeing the genuine excitement to try them out and stuff. Yeah, I can't wait for this launch, and I hope, if I don't see you guys over the launch, I wish you guys all the best of luck with your 0.3 league start, and I hope you guys, yeah, I just hope you guys kill it. See you guys!